Does anybody else hate how the internet now feels like 7 major websites which are all interconnected, whereas it used to feel like a vast place with something new around every corner? Yup. It's very homogeneous now. I went through an old backup of bookmarks from like 15 years ago and like 80% of them were dead links. Shameless edit to point out that this masterpiece still link. StumbleUpon was awesome a decade ago. I met my wife because of StumbleUpon. I was working nights in a call center. I got maybe 1 call a month, and my boss had no problem with me doing whatever as long as I answered when the phone rang. I brought in my laptop and started using StumbleUpon. I eventually came across an abandoned photography site. This was before Urbex really hit it off. I loved the photos and found the person had a forum, so I joined. Long story longer, I met an awesome person on there that shared my interest in photography. We ended up meeting up. I lived near the East Coast, her on the West Coast. That was approximately 13 years ago. We'll be married for 10 years this year. I owe a lot of happiness to StumbleUpon. Me too, lad. I think it's mainly because most websites now are aggregators, meaning they don't exclusively create their own content in their own website, letting people create their content on their website. As the website get bigger, people who want to get big on the internet posts on the bigger website, not posting on their own website, leading to what we have today. This may come across as snobbish, but that's just what happens once something becomes wildly used and/or popular. Television, gaming, and even film has kind of gone that path as well. Formulaic. Same why garbage meant to appeal to the common denominator. Of course variation does exist, you just gotta search harder. It's not the internet that has gotten small, but people's browsing patterns. Back in the early days of the internet, people had a preferred search engine. Some used Lycos, others liked Ask Jeeves or Dogpile. I still remember when someone told me about Google and thinking that sounded like a name a baby came up with. Your search engine of choice was a way of saying something about yourself and how you used the net, as we sometimes called it. The point is, everyone used the internet differently. There were lots of ways to choose and curate your experience. Today, the internet is vastly bigger than it was then, with exponentially more content, and what content there is exponentially more sophisticated and interactive. But our gateways into it are narrower, though fewer, massively popular channels. These channels are also more defined by our peer group, digital or physical, than they used to be. You never learn about fringe content if you only ever check social media sites like Reddit, Twitter, Snapchat, etc., because those people all tend to talk about the same things, as well as seek out content from similar places as you do. The result is a digital experience that feels very insular and contained. The content is there. People just aren't actively seeking it out as often or in the same ways as they used to.